What if I told you that 99% of B2B outreach is entirely broken? That the LinkedIn messages flood in inboxes every single day, the same cold pitches, the same tired sales scripts aren't just ineffective, but they're actually pushing your ideal clients further away. Here's a hard truth. Nobody likes getting pitch slapped. You know what I mean? It's the moment you accept a connection request and then bam, just get that pitch slap. A generic sales pitch lands in your inbox. Delete, ignore, move on. That's a reality. But here's where it gets fairly interesting. There's a small group of businesses quietly winning on LinkedIn, not with spammy direct messages or mass outreach, but with a completely different approach. No chasing, no cold pitch rejection, no desperate follow-ups. And yet they are closing more deals than ever. The secret? Well, they've cracked the code on how to make your ideal prospects come to you engaged, interested, and actually wanting to start a conversation. It all starts by understanding one simple fact. Only 3% of your market is actively looking for a solution at any given moment in time. That means if you are blasting out generic messages, you're missing out on 96%, 97% of potential clients who don't even realize they need you just yet. So instead of getting ignored like everyone else, imagine being the name they already recognize, the person they actually want to talk to before you ever send a message. And that's what I'm about to show you, because if you get this right, your LinkedIn outreach will never feel like selling anymore. It will feel like having conversations with people who already see you as the expert. And to help you break it down, I put together a 7-step guide that helps to sell a high value service via LinkedIn without any ads. If you want it, comment "I want guide" in the comments below to get it. Let's be honest. LinkedIn outreach is a battlefield. Every day, inboxes are flooded with the same predictable cold messages. I love this one. "Hey, first name, I see we have mutual connections. Would love to chat about how we help businesses just like yours 10x their revenue." Or another one like this one. "Quick question. Are you open to a call next week to discuss how we can insert generic value proposition?" Or the last one. "Oh, I noticed you are in this industry. We should connect." Well, I guess this sounds very familiar. Here's the problem. Nobody is actually responding. And you know this. People aren't ignoring you because they hate sales. They're ignoring you because your message sounds like last 50 they just deleted. It gets worse. Even when someone does accept your connection request, the moment you hit them with a pitch, boom, they are gone, ghosted. This is actually called a pitch slap. If you've ever been on the receiving end of one, you know exactly why it doesn't work. People don't want to be sold to. They don't wake up thinking, "Whoa, I really hope someone cold pitches me on LinkedIn today." Why do most outreach strategies still rely on this broken, outdated method? Because they assume people are already problem aware. But again, here's this truth. Only 3-4% of your market is actively looking for a solution at any given moment in time. And that means if your entire strategy is based on catching those few people at the right moment, you still have 96% of people, potential clients, completely untapped. And this is madness. And this is exactly why LinkedIn outreach fails before it even begins. If cold pitching is dead, what actually works? The answer is counterintuitive. Instead of chasing, you need to position yourself in a way that makes your ideal clients come to you. And what's the best way to do that? It starts before you even send a single message. Here's the wake-up call. The old way of LinkedIn outreach is entirely dead. If you're still relying on cold pitches, mass direct messages, and generic connection requests, you are not just wasting time, you are actively hurting your reputation and pushing potential clients away. Why? Well, the game has changed. 5 years ago, LinkedIn was a gold mine. You could send a halfway decent message, get responses, book calls, and close deals. It was super easy. But today, everyone's inbox is a graveyard of ignored messages. Decision makers are bombarded with so much sales spam that they've developed an automatic reflex. Ignore, delete, move on. And here's the brutal truth. If you sound like everyone else, you'll be treated like everyone else. But that's not even the worst part. While most people are stuck in this outdated spray and pray approach, a small group of businesses is quietly dominating LinkedIn without sending a single cold pitch. They're closing high ticket deals, booking warm inbound calls, and building long term relationships with decision makers. How do they do that? By flipping the script. Instead of begging for attention, they're earning it before they even send a message. Instead of getting ignored, they're becoming the name that prospects already know and trust. And if you're not doing this, well, you're getting left behind. Because let's be real, how much longer can you afford to send messages that never get answered? How many more weeks, months, or even years will you waste chasing leads who don't care? The window is closing. LinkedIn's algorithm prioritizes people who engage with their network. If you are not strategically showing up before the outreach, you are invisible. The question is, do you want to keep fighting for scraps, or do you want to be the one that everyone's paying attention to? Because the businesses that crack the code, they're the ones winning. And to help you win as well, I put together a 7-step guide that helps to sell a high value service via LinkedIn without any ads. Comment "I want guide" in the comments below to get it. If cold outreach is broken, if mass direct messages and pitch slaps are killing your chances, what actually works? Here's the shift you need to make. Stop chasing, start attracting. Most B2B service companies are playing the game completely backward. They treat LinkedIn like a numbers game, blast enough messages and hope something sticks. This is absolute madness. This is wrong. What is the new model? It's not about volume, it's about positioning. Think about it. When was the last time you responded to a random cold pitch in your inbox? Probably a long time ago or even never. But what if you kept seeing the same name pop up in your comment section? They left insightful takes on your posts, not some generic stuff, but actual real value. Their profile was optimized in a way that made it clear, compelling, and credible. And then they reached out. Now you actually recognize them. You've seen their name before. Maybe you even checked out their profile back in the day. So when their message lands in your inbox, it's not an interruption, it's a continuation of the conversation. And this is where everything changes. Instead of getting ignored, you're getting welcomed. Instead of cold pitching, you are building real authority. Instead of begging for attention, you are commanding it. This is what I call micro engagement strategy. And it's how top performing companies are quietly turning LinkedIn into a high converting inbound machine without spamming a single person. Now, here's exactly how this works. Step number 1 is all about becoming visible before becoming valuable. Before you ever send a direct message, get on their radar. Use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to find high intent prospects who are already engaging with content. Leave insightful comments on their posts to establish familiarity. So when you do reach out, you are not a stranger. Step number 2 is all about optimizing your profile for instant credibility. If someone checks your profile, does it instantly communicate who you help, how you help, and why you're the best at it? If not, you are losing business before the conversation even starts. Step number 3 is all about shifting from cold outreach to warm conversations. Instead of sending generic cold pitches, use direct messages to guide the conversation, asking pre-qualifying questions, identifying pain points, and moving toward an actual valuable conversation. This is the shift from, "Hey, can I sell you something?" to, "Hey, I see you. I understand your challenges. Let's have a talk." Because at the end of the day, people don't buy from strangers. They buy from people they trust. And when you build trust before you even send a message, you don't have to sell. People just come to you. Now that you understand why traditional LinkedIn outreach is failing, let's break down exactly what works step by step. If you want high value clients coming to you, instead of constantly chasing, you need to follow these 5 key principles. Principle number 1 is all about getting on their radar before you get in their inbox. Most people send cold direct messages before their prospects even know who they are, which is why they get ignored. Instead, you gotta flip the script. Use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to find your ideal clients, people who match your exact ideal client profile, which is ICP. Engage with them before sending a message. Leave insightful comments on their posts so that when you do reach out, they already know your name. You might wonder, oh, why does this work? Instead of feeling like an interruption, your message feels like a natural extension of a conversation that's already started. Principle number 2 is all about optimizing your profile for instant trust. Most LinkedIn profiles are dead zones, vague job titles, random descriptions, no clear value. If your profile doesn't instantly communicate who you help, how you help them, why they should trust you, you are losing business before you even send a message. Your profile should act like a landing page for your business. When your prospect clicks, they should immediately know why you're relevant to them. I've got a pro tip for you. Your headline should call out your audience and the result you deliver. Here's an example: helping B2B SaaS companies book more sales calls using LinkedIn without paid ads. Then your bio should actually tell a mini story of how you help people, not just a resume dump. Next, fill your profile with social proof, testimonials, case studies, success stories. When your profile does the selling for you, you don't have to convince people to respond. They'll already be interested before you even message them. Principle 3 is all about stopping to pitch and starting to pre-qualify. Here's a game changer. The goal of your first message is not to sell, it's to qualify. Most people send immediately pitching direct messages, and that's why they get ignored. Instead, you need to find out the following. First, do they even have the pain you want to solve? Second, are they actively looking for a solution? You might wonder how you do that. Well, by asking strategic problem-aware questions in your direct messages. Here's a bad direct message example. Hey, I offer this and that service. Want to hop on a call? Here's a better direct message. Quick question. Have you been running into this specific pain point lately? I've been seeing a lot of people in your industry struggling with the same. Why this works? Well, it shifts the focus from you to them. It naturally leads to a conversation instead of triggering their ignore reflex. If they confirm they have this pain point, they are much more open to hearing your solution. Principle number 4 is about finding the right timing and intent. Not every prospect is ready to buy from you right away, and that's okay. Some people need weeks or months before they're ready to take action. So instead of pushing for a sale immediately, focus on building relationships over time, following up strategically, and keeping yourself on their radar with content and engagement. Another pro tip: use LinkedIn tools like Canbox or Condo to organize your messages so you can follow up at the right time. The goal is not to rush people into a call. It's to be the first person they think of when they are ready to solve that problem. Principle number 5 is all about aligning your content with your outreach. Here's the hidden LinkedIn hack most people ignore. The algorithm actually prioritizes showing your content to the people you message. That means while you're reaching to prospects, LinkedIn is also showing them your posts, which means they are seeing your expertise before they even respond to your message. And when your content positions you as an authority in their space, well, they trust you before you even hop on a call. They feel like they already know you. Your direct messages aren't cold anymore, they're warm. This is why creating LinkedIn content alongside your outreach is the ultimate two-punch. Want to take it even further? Go live on LinkedIn. Even a few moments of FaceTime builds trust 10 times faster than just messages. Offer a free resource in your profile. Let them discover your value before they even talk to you. When you put all of these principles together, you completely change the game. No more getting ignored. No more wasted messages. No more chasing unqualified leads. Instead, you become the name people recognize, trust, and want to talk to. Your inbox starts filling with people genuinely interested in what you offer. And best of all, you are no longer relying on outdated, low converting outreach tactics. This is how you win on LinkedIn in 2025. Now let's take this to the next level. By now you get it. Traditional LinkedIn outreach is broken, but here's what you're probably wondering. Does this stuff, the stuff that I'm telling you, does it actually work in real world? And the answer is, well, of course, absolutely. Let me show you how real businesses, just like yours, are using this exact strategy to book high-value sales calls, close more deals, and never worry about being ignored again. The first case study is about the digital PR expert who stopped pitching and started closing. And this was one of my clients. I have a long video case study separate from this video. But before working with me, he was doing what most people do. He was sending mass LinkedIn direct messages, getting ignored 90% of the time, struggling to get anyone on a call. He was stuck in the cold outreach hamster wheel, chasing prospects who didn't care, all this stuff. Then we flipped this approach. We optimized his LinkedIn profile to make his value crystal clear. We identified his ideal client profile using LinkedIn Sales navigator. And instead of pitching in direct messages, we had him engage first, commenting on posts, adding insights, and getting on their radar before ever reaching out. The results? Well, within 30 days, he went from getting ignored to booking 3 to 5 calls per week with inbound leads. His response rate tripled because when he finally reached out, his prospects already knew him, they trusted him, and were actually excited to talk. Next case study is about this high-ticket sales coach who landed a $10,000 deal with less than 1,000 connections. This one is actually a game changer. A sales coach came to me frustrated. He was trying to land high-ticket clients but wasn't getting traction on LinkedIn. He thought he needed a huge following to make LinkedIn work. Spoiler alert, he didn't. We made two key shifts in his strategy. First, we focused on hyper-specific content. Instead of generic sales tips, he started posting about one painful problem his audience faced, which was about fixing a broken sales process in a very specific industry. We restructured his direct messages. There was no more cold pitches. And instead, he started asking strategic, problem-focused questions that got his prospects to admit their struggles first. The results, within 2 weeks, he closed a $10,000 coaching client without ever hard selling in direct messages. He booked 6 more calls in the next month using the exact same method, and he did it all with less than 1,000 connections. This is the power of targeted, authority-driven outreach. Now let's talk about B2B SaaS, because this strategy isn't just for coaches and agencies, it works across industries. One of my clients helps SaaS startups improve their outbound sales process. Before, he was relying on mass LinkedIn messages that got ignored, posting generic content that no one engaged with, and he was struggling to start conversations with decision makers. We fixed this by dialing in 3 things. First, finding decision makers who were already engaging with LinkedIn content. Then we used the comment first strategy, leaving insights on their posts before reaching out. Then we structured his direct messages as problem-solving conversations instead of sales pitches. The results? $250,000 in pipeline generated within 90 days, multiple inbound requests from C-level executives without cold pitching, and over 50% response rate on outreach compared to the industry average of 10-15%. What was his biggest takeaway? He said that he used to feel like he was bothering people, but now people are actually coming to him. The bottom line that I'm trying to get at here is that this stuff is not theory. This is the exact LinkedIn outreach system that's working right now for agencies, consultants, B2B service providers, and even SaaS founders. And if you apply this, you'll stop chasing leads who ignore you and start attracting high-value prospects who are already interested before you even send a message. But we're not done yet. Now you've seen why traditional LinkedIn outreach is failing, and you've learned the exact system that top-performing businesses are using to generate leads and book high-value sales calls without being ignored, ghosted, or wasting time on dead-end direct messages. Now it's your turn. Here's what I want you to do right now before you scroll past this video and forget everything you just learned. I want you to go to your LinkedIn and actually audit your LinkedIn strategy. Take 5 minutes to look at your last 5 LinkedIn outreach messages. Be brutally honest with yourself. Are they cold, generic, and easy to ignore? Or are they engaging, problem-focused, and personalized? If they sound like every other sales pitch, it's time to fix that. Step number 2 is about getting on your prospect's radar. Today, find 5 ideal clients using LinkedIn Sales Navigator and comment on their posts with genuine insights before you even send a message. This is how you warm up your outreach and get them to recognize your name. Pro tip, if they reply to your comment, that's your green light to send a connection request. Step number 3, go and optimize your profile for instant trust. If someone clicks on your profile right now, does it clearly answer these 3 questions? Who do you help? What problem do you solve? And why should they trust you? If you don't have those questions answered, you are losing leads before you even message them. Fix this now. Next step, send outreach that gets responses. Once you've engaged with your prospects, send a connection request, either blank or reference in your recent engagement. Ask a strategic strategic question, not a sales pitch. For example, I noticed you've been posting about whatever subject. Curious, have you been running into this common pain point lately? From there, let the conversation flow naturally. Don't rush into selling. Remember, the goal is not to pitch immediately, it's to qualify, build trust, and guide them toward a conversation. Last but not least, go and get the full strategy instant. If you want to shortcut the process and get a 7-step system to turn LinkedIn into a lead machine, I've got something for you. Comment, send me the guide below, and I'll send you a free detailed breakdown of the exact LinkedIn outreach scripts that get responses, the best profile optimization tricks to convert views into leads, and a simple content strategy that makes you the go-to expert in your space. This is completely free. Just drop a comment and I'll send it over. One final thought. Every day you keep using the old broken outreach methods. You're losing potential deals. But today you have the blueprint to change that. Go ahead, take action right now, because the businesses that implement this strategy, they're the ones winning. Comment below or click the link in the description and let's make LinkedIn your best sales channel ever. See you in the next video.